So for some reason, DJ Vlad cannot get over the fact that Shannon Sharpe has claimed to make more money than he's ever made in his NFL career on the Katt Williams interview. The video stands at 62 million views currently, and DJ Vlad keeps talking about it.
Well, you know what's interesting? Because this kind of came out, the timing of it was a little interesting, but it wasn't intended. So what happened was, I had talked in a couple of interviews about how many views Shannon Sharpe got on that Katt Williams interview.
Like 34 million, right?
I think it was like 50-something million at this point. Yeah, it's gone up. It's gone up. And at the time, like me and Michael Blackson did an interview about this, and I basically said, you know, if I were to eyeball it based on YouTube, and I've been doing YouTube longer than anyone out there, right? When YouTube first became a commercial enterprise in 2008, I jumped on it right away. So for 16 years, I've been following YouTube revenue.
2008? I think I've been on YouTube longer than that, since 2006. You haven't been on it the longest, let me just tell you. 2008, you know, the party was already started.
And I said, based on what I'm seeing, he probably made about $500,000 off that one interview. Damn. At 50-something million views. Now, I had thrown that out there here and there. Now, I don't know whether Shannon was responding to me or not, or whether he was just putting it out there. But at one point, Shannon said that he's made more money off this Katt Williams interview than any year he's been in the NFL. And he listed out all his NFL years, and his biggest year was $5 million. Right? And people are like, oh, Vlad's hating. Vlad's hating on Shannon. He's pocket watching. At the time that Shannon made that announcement, my interview hadn't even been recorded yet. You know, it was recorded before then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My whole thing was, but, you know, since it's out there, I'll go ahead and actually, you know, deal with it. Number one, when you throw numbers out there, you should expect people to pick them apart a little bit, right? If you want to put your salary out.
That is not necessarily the case. Come on, man. Just because you put numbers out there, people are supposed to comb over them and make a big fuss over what another man is making. You know, it seems odd. It's odd that you are focusing on how much Shannon Sharpe has made in this interview with Katt Williams. Now, granted, you have done YouTube well. You know what I'm saying? Like, though I may not make as much as DJ Vlad or Shannon Sharpe at this very moment, one day soon I will. So let me just explain to you a few things that I know just from my travels on these internet streets. So when people say you're pocket watching, it just seems like you're pocket watching. It just seems a little odd that you're fixated on how much Shannon Sharpe made in this interview. Sure, it's interesting. It's a topic for discussion, but like, you gotta be a little more subtle with how you want to find out this information.
Number one, when you throw numbers out there, you should expect people to pick them apart a little bit, right? If you want to put your salary out there, you want to put how much you make, and you don't actually put any, you know, actually put the breakdowns of it, people are going to say what they're going to say. 50 million views on YouTube does not equate anywhere near $5 million. I'm not hating. This is just the reality. Now,
and the problem with that, Vlad, would be Shannon obviously has something more going on than just YouTube. That's the obvious answer to this. I mean, despite the fact that there's some other technical factors that you are leaving out of your calculation in how much Shannon Sharpe could have made. Because Shannon says he's made somewhere above 5 million. Vlad seems to think, no, I know YouTube, he could have only made 500 based on his channel. And that's where the problem lies. His channel is in a notoriously low CPM niche, right? So you can't compare yourself to other people and make it make sense, right? Shannon is serving a totally different audience, believe it or not. It's a much broader audience, obviously, because there's 62 million of them. But we got to be honest, Vlad, like what you're doing and what Shannon's doing are two different things. Though you all are both doing interviews. You catch my drift?
Well, wait, I want to make sure I understand you. So I thought you said that based on the 50-something million views,
yeah,
he got 500,000.
Yeah, but he claimed he made more than 5 million.
Oh, he claims more than 5 million.
Yes, he put that out there himself.
Right. And you're saying that's bull.
The numbers aren't really numbering. Now, he put all this, he made like a big graphic on it, and it said like how many new followers he got on Instagram and how many Facebook followers he got and how many YouTube subscribers and everything else like that. All the, some of it went on Spotify and everything else like that. Now, if you're counting intangibles like, oh, okay, 1 million followers is worth $1 million, or, so forth. Now, if you start bringing in soft numbers like that, maybe you can kind of mush it all together and justify that number. But if you look at actual money in your bank account.
How? Why is there so much detail going into this? But how are those soft numbers? You're not really hearing yourself. You can't be. Because you can make just as much money on Facebook as you can on YouTube. There, I said it. Didn't we just hear Country Wayne made $20 million over the pandemic purely off of Facebook and Instagram ads? Like, so, and this is all advertising. Like, Country Wayne's YouTube game wasn't even like factoring in at that point. He made 20 million over there. Just so you know.
Soft numbers like that, maybe you can kind of mush it all together and justify that number. But if you look at actual money in your bank account based on views, based on advertising, there's no possible way that Katt Williams interview made over $5 million in cash in your bank account. It's just not possible.
Not to mention that episode was sponsored by DraftKings. You don't know what kind of deal on advertising he and the network that he works for have. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's so weird that you're going to argue him down once he's saying a claim or a number. I mean, if he want to lie about it, let him lie about it. But why are you arguing with Shannon Sharpe about the potential for revenue that he made on his video? A groundbreaking video, a record-breaking video at this point in that genre. It's strange that Vlad is basically pocket watching Shannon Sharpe over multiple videos. I mean, and why are you talking to Ari Spears about this? This is the other thing. Like, this most random person in the world. I get it. It's a trending topic. I get it. But it's looking a little jealousy, maybe. You've been doing it 12 years. Shannon's been doing it a couple. Whatever. Like,
it's just not possible. Maybe a tenth of that. And maybe I'm wrong. Shannon, you have my number. We used to talk.
Oh, now
hit me up and break it down to me. And if you prove me wrong, I'll publicly say I'm wrong. But what I'm saying
now, Shannon got to go out his way to call you to prove to you. He's got to prove a proof of funds for DJ Vlad. This is ridiculous. It's invasive. Leave that man alone. He's out here buying Rolexes or whatever he's doing. He's showing up on the shows, showing off watches, showing off what he got. Like, let him be. Let him at least enjoy the victory. You know what I mean? Let him enjoy having that much of an impact. I know it could be encroaching on your territory, but you got to let him live, Vlad.
Is, since you put that out there yourself, not me, no one made you put it out there.
Still going.
50-something million views does not equal $5 million. Okay. So everyone who's rushing to YouTube to suddenly do an interview that makes them $5 million.
Oh, that's what he's mad about.
No.
Hold on.
I don't think Mr.
That sounds like he's mad about competition. We all got to deal with competition. I'm dealing with competition right now on my channel. People that want to do similar topics or like, oh, that looks like something I could do. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. It's part of the price of doing business, Vlad. It is. So now you got 100 Vlad TVs popping up probably, and Vlad is mad about it. Vlad's mad about it. That's what it seems like. It's a lot. This is a compound issue here. It's not just mad at Shannon.
Yeah, no. I don't think Mr. Beast even makes those type of numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is so.
Mr. Beast absolutely makes millions of dollars per video. It is true. But Mr. Beast if you're a student of YouTube and you're a student of Mr. Beast also spends millions of dollars on his videos. So it's almost like it comes in and it goes back out. But he generates so much momentum around that. You know, he's got videos that are getting 100 million views. So that's a bad example, Vlad. Because Mr. Beast in 5 videos can get those numbers, get that 5 million if he needed.
To suddenly do an interview that makes him $5 million, yeah, no. I don't think Mr. Beast even makes those type of numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is someone who gets 50 million views a month on his YouTube channel. So
And this is Mr. Beast?
This is me.
No, he's talking about himself. Hey, shout out to you for getting 50 million views. But this is where it's stemming from. He's like, 50 million views? I should be getting $5 million. Maybe. If you were leveraging the same ways that Shannon is, and trust and believe, Shannon has a whole team behind the scenes probably handling brand deals, handling advertisements, handling all these other projects. You also have to think about the fact that Shannon owns a liquor company, right? This is what I'm saying. This is why the argument is insane, Vlad. It's insane that you're continuing this on. I think you need to just chill and allow Shannon to win right now. Like this is it just tells you how many hands you have to have out there in this content creation space. You have to start doing more businesses. And shout out to y'all. I'm about to start rolling out some additional products that go to support this channel as well.
Oh.
I know what the I'm talking about. So everyone out there who thinks I'm hating on Shannon, look, if I told people I'm a billionaire and everyone's like, well, hold on, let's look into this, and they couldn't prove that I'm right, then I'm going to have to hold that. I'm not a billionaire.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
How dare you have an opposing view?
How dare I go against someone putting out numbers into the world?
I wish people would stop with this overuse of
hating. You're hating.
It's like you're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to go against the grain. Right. How come when you go with the flow, it's, not viewed as a bad thing, but when you have an opinion and you go against the grain, you're a hater. You're bitter. You're jealous.
I'm jealous. Look, I'm happy that Shannon Sharpe had a really big interview and had another one with like Monique, another one with Steve Stout and everything else like that. He's doing his thing right now. I think this helps everyone as a whole.
Oh, Vlad definitely keeping score. He's talking about all the other interviews. I'm glad he has more interviews, more.
I've been doing it longer than he has, and he's on his run right now. Everyone has their run. Everyone stays hot. For 16 years, I've had my run.
Stay hot.
Not everyone stays hot.
Okay.
Oh, did I say everyone stays hot?
You said everyone stays hot.
Okay, no, not everyone stays hot. I think you were correcting me.
Yeah.
Not everyone stays hot. You have a run, and you got a whole bunch of hot interviews and hot things that come together, and you try to keep it up as long as possible. But sooner or later, hey, things kind of quell down again, and you got to reinvent yourself and figure things out. I'm happy for him. I've met him before. Like I said, we used to talk, we used to text. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Guys, what you think? Is DJ Vlad hating on Shannon Sharpe? I let him slide on the first interview. I didn't even do a video on that. I was like, you know what? It's his right to talk about it. But now that since he brings it up again, I think it's clear that Vlad has a problem that Shannon Sharpe has said that he's made that much money. But you really got to do the math. You got to look into what Shannon is really putting out as his numbers. You know what I mean? So Shannon Sharpe put this out, and this is not even the full. This is not even his full numbers. But the Katt Williams effect, he said the full episode views, 320 million views across all CSS social channels. So he is including the fact that he has Facebook. He's including the fact that he has Twitter, Instagram, so on and so forth, right? All those social channels, 1.6 million audio downloads. So that means there's a podcast there. And with a podcast comes all of the advertising that goes into a podcast, plus more brand deals, right? More sales for alcohol. All of these things are coming right now based on the fact that he was able to get that 62 million on that original Katt Williams interview. Then you have to break down the actual video. He did clips of almost every highlighted moment of that Katt Williams video. So you got to put that into the pot that he's talking about for this $5 million or more, approximately. 110,000 watched the premiere episode live. Great numbers, but, you know, there could have been some super chats in there too as well. We're not even talking about that. Who knows? I didn't watch it live. 1.4 million, or maybe I did actually. I actually saw part of it live, like maybe in the middle. 1.4 million subs gained on YouTube, surpassing 2.9 million. Great metrics. 750K followers gained, surpassing 1.5 million. 1 million Facebook followers gained, surpassing 1.9 million, and that's not easy to do on Facebook, I'm going to tell you. 465K IG followers gained, surpassing 1 million, and 40K X followers gained, surpassing 139.5 million. And like I said, these numbers are just the numbers that the early numbers. I think these are just this maybe came out maybe a week after. Oh, in 2 months. The Katt Williams effect in 2 months. That's what it says. So in 2 months, he was able to amass this amount, right? So, you know, this is the thing. Like, I'm going to break it down to Vlad so he can understand it. Different niches on YouTube have different CPMs. Wow. Yes, of course, Vlad. With your 50 million views, they might be worth $500,000, like you're saying, right? But you take that and you move it to an older demographic, older viewers, more people with money, and that CPM that you have and Mr. Beast has, it could go exponential. There's some CPMs, and I mean, when I say CPMs, let me explain it to you all. Cost per mil, which is cost per 1,000 views. So every time 1,000 views comes, there's a dollar amount attached to it. Some of these niches are $25 CPM. Now, I'm not thinking Shannon Sharpe is anywhere near that 25, but if you put him in the range of $5 and up, then we start talking about some real money. Whereas like DJ Vlad and them might be getting something in the 50-cent range. They might be getting $1, if that. Because the views are going through there. And that's why you see on channels with huge view counts, sometimes the audience they're serving determines how much they'll make. So I don't want to get too much in the weeds about YouTube. If you want to talk to me more in depth, because you know I know some things about YouTube, but now you can see, right? I have some knowledge about this subject, and I've studied extensively. If you want to have a consultation with me, hit the link in the description. Faucette Media.